Well, a very good afternoon and you're welcome to NewsBeat here on Metro TV. It's coming to you live from the Kuya Bohema studio here, Northridge. My name is Annie Efuampof, and from now till 1 p.m. we'll bring you the bulletin. Let's take a look at the headlines. Tax to investigate the assaults in the Upper West Regional Capital reveals all military personnel involved have been punished. Ghana Health Service partially locks down Achimota School for 2 weeks after 135 students tested positive for the Delta variant of COVID-19 on campus. And in business, an international maritime report reveals Ghana and the rest of the world lose 7 to 12 billion US dollars yearly to piracy and maritime related crimes. And in the world of sports, Paris Saint confirms the signing of Sergio Ramos on the 2-year contract until 2023. On the foreign front, South Africa's ex-president Jacob Zuma turns himself into police to begin a 15 months in jail for contempt of court. You're welcome back. The news now in detail. Now, the Ghana Education Service and the Ghana Health Service have partially locked down the Achimota School in the Greater Accra region following the detection of COVID-19 Delta strain in the school. The school authorities have been directed not to allow anyone to visit the premises nor allow anyone to go out for the next 2 weeks. There is more in the following desk reports.
This directive comes after 135 students tested positive for the new strain of COVID-19 on campus. Director General of the Ghana Education Service, Professor Kwesi Opoku-Amankwa, has asked parents not to panic, assuring that measures have been put in place to ensure the safety of the students. The Director of Public Health at the Ghana Health Service, Dr. Franklin Esiedu-Bekwe, revealed day students of the school are supposed to stay at home for the next 2 weeks. The Ghana Health Service confirmed the detection of the highly contagious variant COVID-19, the Delta variant, at the Achimota School on Sunday, 4th July 2021. According to the Ghana Health Service, 3 students of the school presented influenza-like symptoms at the school's sick bay between June 14th and 16th, 2021. They were tested in line with laid-down protocols, and all 3 test results turned out positive. They subsequently isolated, and all contacts were placed under mandatory quarantine on campus. Meanwhile, initial calls for the closure of the school were rejected. For instance, the Executive Secretary of Education think tank Africa Education Watch, Kofi Asare, said the situation didn't require the closure of the school.
Now, we're joined on the line by Metro News' Shadrach Odami-Ejari, who has pitched camp at the Achimota School for more on this report. Hello, Shadrach, if you can hear me. What else can you add to what we've already made known to the public? What's going on in the school?
This afternoon, we are here at the Achimota Senior High School to find out how the situation on the ground has been after they recorded about 135 cases of the novel COVID-19, especially with regards to the Delta variant. They have huge security here. We have the first entrance from the Ghana police, same as the second entrance, and then all their facilities here. We spoke to some parents, and then what we gathered is the school is currently running a test for both boarding and then day students. They are testing all of them for the COVID-19 virus. Nonetheless, they've also the boarders are also in school. And then they've also, information reaching us is that they've camped or quarantined those who have been affected in their own facility in the school. But then the students are still in the house, and then some of the boarding students are in school. Another thing that is bringing some kind of scuffle between parents and then school authorities is that most parents want to take their wards out of the school and then have their own, take them to the nearest facility for them to be checked from the COVID virus. But school authorities are also making sure they check all the teachers and students, and then those that will test positive will be handled with permission from the Ministry of Health and then the Ghana Health Service. Annie.
So, Shadrach, can you tell us if you may have been able to pick up some information of the state of the students and their mindset? How are they feeling, if you were able to, spot one or speak to any of them?
Annie, please come again.
I'm asking if there is any chance you got with any of the students, and can you tell us how their condition is like mentally?
If I'm here, you're asking if there is any sign of...
If the students are stable mentally, are they stable mentally? Have you gotten a chance to speak with any of them?
Well, we were not allowed to enter the school. For the Ghana Police Service is telling us they've been asked or authorized not to allow any media the premises. So most of the information here we gathered from parents who have been able to enter the school and then visit their wards or be. But aside that, there is no other movement. No student is coming in, neither is any student going out. It's just parents who have been called, because authorities are having issues with the testing, as parents are being called to come and then agree before their wards are tested. Annie?
I don't know if you can hear me again, but how about what's the state of the day students who are not being allowed to come to school? Are they going to be left to their fate, or they would have to use the opportunity to go and have some test for themselves?
The line is very faint, but those who have been tested, the results are not yet in. So it can't be really said whether they are positive or negative. So they are still in the house till the results are in. The school will determine as and when the lessons are going to start, and then when some students or the day are going to report to school. Annie?
Right, Shadrach, thank you for your time. And that's Metro News' Shadrach Odami Ajari pitching the camp there at Achimota School and coming through with that report. We'll follow up and see what happens, and definitely we'll relay the report back to you. Let's go on to the Good Morning Ghana. And the former Executive Secretary of Free Zones Board, Kwejo Chumbuafo, has described as creepy the institutionalizing of salaries for presidential first and second ladies of the country. According to him, the move isn't a way of protecting the public purse, describing it as unacceptable. Meanwhile, the editor-in-chief of the New Crusading Guide newspaper, Abdul Malik Kwekubako, says that modalities can be changed, but it's in a total agreement that presidential wives should be paid. The both spoke on Metro TV's Good Morning Ghana.
We must formalize it.
Kweku,
it is
institutionalizing these kinds of things creeps. It is the same way that we are being told that members of the judiciary are now collecting ex gratia. Maybe it is true, maybe it isn't. But I'm saying that it is creeping. One fine day, we will get a president who decides to stick a bill to parliament because he has the numbers to say that all ministers' wives should be paid. Whilst we are at it, let's just simply add the spouses of my party executives, and we will get there. What we are saying is that this country is already overburdened in terms of what we are not able to do with the meager finances we get. Why are we going to borrow to keep doing these things? We are a distressed country. And especially now, as we speak, when we are paying all kinds of taxes. I am saying that once we begin to institutionalize this, we will get to the day when we are paying Jesus' wife.
Oh, come on.
That will get there.
Yeah, but you know, as I read the thing, which is still problematic anyway, is that they are not being mentioned specific, you know, in terms of as if the Article 71 office holders. They are not being mentioned in that sense. There's a recognition that they are not. And that
So why
challenge,
did the committee stray there?
oh,
It's
all
outside
the other
their terms of
committees
reference.
there by looking at it and saying that, look, we are not able to recommend because they are not part of Article 71. Yet we should be realistic to find some dispensation for them. That has been the challenge. Maybe this is not the right prescription.
Yes.
Please, what about ex-CEOs?
Yeah, that's why I
Debated,
keep speaking
yeah.
about
What
the
about
vehicle.
ex-CEOs?
Yeah, the vehicle. Yeah.
Yes.
Kudo is not looking at only the vehicle.
Ex-CEOs.
He has a
He
different.
wants a totally zero option.
Ex-CEOs.
Okay. You want your wife to be paid.
Now, spouses of presidents and vice president will officially be receiving salaries from the government of Ghana. This was approved upon a recommendation by the Emolument Committee in Parliament. Metro News has been engaging with some Ghanaians.
As a concerned citizen, okay, it's very heartbreaking. Okay, it's very heartbreaking because there are so many things that I have no idea how much they're going to be paid though, but there are so many things here in Ghana that specific amount of money they're going to be used to pay the first ladies, and then the second first lady can be used for. Okay, just can we think of it? Recently there was a fire outbreak at Mokola. Do you understand? And I stand to be corrected. The whole Accra Central, we only had 2 fire service stations. They came and they couldn't even quench the fires. It's really heartbreaking. Trust me, if I don't take care, I might end up insulting. I don't want to go that far. It's not necessary. Why would they have to be paid?
I don't think it's a good idea for the president's spouse to be paid. Because if you are paying him, your spouse, just because you're a president, then other workers to have the right to say that their spouses are equally supposed to be paid. I don't see them doing any tedious thing for them to pay. Personally, I don't think it's a good idea.
It is very good to pay them because it's Ghana money. It's good. What is wrong with it? There's nothing wrong. So if me to one day, God help me, I become a president. So my wife, okay, salary. So we should clap for the parliamentary way approve this one, including the, Speaker Abambagbe, or what is his name. So that is good.
Well, then they can equally give them some allowances, just something small, but not being paid every month. If you talk about salary, that means they're going to get something at the end of every month. And I don't think it's a wise decision.
So I actually don't think so, because most of them already have jobs that they are doing. I know they are doing great work for the country, but it's mostly on a voluntary basis. So salaries, I don't think so. Allowances are okay, but salary, I don't think so.
So Ghanaians are not generally, by our sample, are not in support of that. But let's see how that goes. Now let's do some security stories. And all military personnel in Wa Barracks who were on duty on July 1, when some of them brutalized residents, with the exception of the duty officer, have been punished. This was reviewed after a 4-member committee tasked to investigate the assault in Upper West Regional Capital submitted its preliminary findings. There's more in the following report.
3 of them have been demoted from their current ranks to lower ranks. They are the orderly, guard commander, and the sentry. The orderly has been demoted from staff sergeant to corporal, whilst the guard commander and the sentry have been demoted from corporal to private and lance corporal to private respectively. The trial of the duty officer, who is a lieutenant, will however commence later. Metro News sources also revealed 8 other soldiers who were seen on various videos brutalizing the residents have been charged, tried, and handed 30 days each in detention by the disciplinary committee chaired by the commanding officer. All of the 8 are said to be junior rank, that is, private soldiers. 86 soldiers were identified to have allegedly taken part in the inhumane act that was not sanctioned by the military. They have so far interrogated nearly 30 of them and will continue the interrogation on Thursday. The preliminary investigation also revealed that 11 persons suffered various degrees of injuries, including Gaffer Mahama, who developed a fracture on his thigh bone and has undergone surgery. 3 other persons were admitted to the Wa Municipal Hospital. Some of the victims interrogated reported the loss of 13 mobile phones, a tricycle, and an amount of 1,460 cedis for 3 different people. They have, however, retrieved 7 mobile phones and the tricycle returned to its owner. They are yet to receive any said sum of money. The investigation revealed that the incident started when a soldier whose name is withheld on June 30th alleged his mobile phone was snatched from around 6 p.m. He informed his colleague private soldier, who in turn informed the duty officer that same day. The duty officer is alleged to have permitted the troops to go to town to search for the missing mobile phone, which consequently led to the alleged brutality in Wa. The 86 young soldiers who were passed out between April 30th, 2021 and June 4th, 2021 and were posted to the 10 Mechanized Battalion Agre Barracks. Upon arrival at the barracks, they were granted a month's leave and returned on June 30th, a day before the incident ensued. The 4-member team comprised of personnel from the military and the National Investigation Bureau, NIB, and is led by Colonel B.Z. Ayorogo. The other members are Lieutenant Colonel George Edua Besi, Franz Ajay, and Maxwell Dassa. The investigation is under the auspices of the National Security.
Now we go back to the story of allowances for presidential spouses, and the youth wing of the opposition National Democratic Congress NDC says the approval of the allowances for the wives of presidents and vice presidents is unconstitutional. Now they have thus announced that they will challenge the move at the Supreme Court. A 5-member emolument committee, which was set up in June 2019 by President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, among other things, recommended the said allowance. According to the Minister of Information, Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, this recommendation has been approved by Parliament. He explained that the allowance payment had been done quietly in the past, but the Akufo-Addo government decided to formalize it. There is more. There are reports that per this policy, the spouses of the 2 first gentlemen of the state will earn the same salaries as of cabinet ministers. This has created a huge public backlash. The NDC Youth Wing, in the press statement signed by National Youth Organizer George Opariado, said it won't allow the recommendation to be implemented. Now, we are joined on the phone by the National Youth Organizer for the NDC, George Opariado, to tell us more about the action the youth wing of the NDC is taking. George, thank you for your time. You're welcome to NewsBeat. Now, first of all, is it not okay to formalize something that is already in practice?
Good afternoon to your esteemed viewers, and it is not okay because it has never been in practice. If Kojo Oppong Nkrumah tells the good people of this country that it has been in practice and they intend to formalize it is a big lie, and we cannot accept that. What has been in practice, and let's quickly do a distinction. What has been in practice is the paying of allowances. Every year when the budget is passed, there is an allocation under the office of the president that is made to the office of the first and second ladies. Those are allowances, and that is okay. What is not okay is to pay salaries and ex gratia. What the Emoluments Committee sought to do, or what they were seeking to do, is to put them on the pay grade just as cabinet ministers. That has never happened in the history of this country before. So if anybody seeks, or if anybody tries to tell the people of this country that that has always been a norm, that is not true. Also, wives of spouses of presidents and vice presidents have never been paid ex gratia before. What this seeks to do is to pay them after every 4 years, they are going to receive ex gratia. So when President Akufo-Addo finishes his first term, Rebecca Akufo-Addo will take ex gratia almost to the tune of about 6 million Ghana cedis. And then the same will be paid after the next 4 years. That is unacceptable. So this is not okay. Our major concern is the breach of Article 71. Article 71, the wording in Article 71 is very exhaustive. Article 71 did not leave any space for remainder men. What Article 71 sought to do is to cover public officials. The wife or the spouse of the president and the wife or the spouse of the vice president are not public officials. Article 71 is not ambiguous. There is no ambiguity in the language of Article 71. And if they are not Article 71 office holders, then under no circumstances can they be brought under Article 71. What the committee had to do, and if the president did something illegal by sneaking in the wife of the president and that of the vice president so that the committee can review it, what we are saying is that the committee did not have the power to review or to implement or to recommend that they should be paid, because that was not the mandate of the committee. The mandate of the committee is very clear. They should review Article 71 office holders. As it stands now, the two of them are not members of the Article 71, and so they cannot be considered under that article. What Article 108 tells you and I is that if you want to draw from the consolidated fund, then there is a way out. Bring a bill before Parliament. Let the people debate it. When we say the people are MPs. They represent you and I. Let them debate it. And when they feel that it is okay for them to be paid, then we can ask them and pay them and draw from the consolidated fund on our behalf. In the absence of that, then I believe that the Constitution has been breached. And the only way we can reverse this is to seek the original jurisdiction of the Supreme Court to bring a proper interpretation as to whether or not the spouses of the president and the vice president can be classified as Article 71 office holders.
Maybe the Monument Committee has gone ahead of amendments of the Constitution. In the past, we could say that, well, the First Ladies were not captured by the Constitution according to the Article 71. But we've seen a lot of dynamism as far as governance is concerned, where First Ladies, Second Ladies have become quite active members of government. And so maybe in that consideration, we may want to look into, maybe the committee was considering that I was not there, but they may have been considering that. You don't think that it's something that we may want to consider and amend the Constitution, consider these women as part of government?
So until that has been done, then it is a breach of the Constitution. What Article 2.1 entreats you and I to do, that when the Constitution is being breached, you and I must uphold it. That is how come we want to uphold the Constitution. What we are saying is that Article 108 gives the president a remedy. So if that is what the president wants to do, then it is not the Emoluments Committee that reviews it. It is a bill that should be laid before Parliament.
Right.
The Emoluments Committee is limited in authority in doing that. They don't have the power to do so. What they have the power to do is to review the people who have been captured under Article 71. And like I said, Article 71 is exhaustive. It does not leave space for remainderment. It doesn't say that in the absence of or any other. It is fully exhaustive. When you read it, it doesn't leave you with any ambiguities for you to say that, oh, this is what the framers were seeking to do. It doesn't do that. Every word in there is very clear. There is no ambiguity.
Okay, so let me just ask you two questions in one. Aren't you surprised that members of Parliament on the minority side, agreed to this in Parliament? And have you filed a suit too?
No, please. As I speak to you this afternoon, two of the members of Parliament from the minority side have just issued a writ at the Supreme Court. This is what happened on the 6th of January, if what I gather is correct, and the parliamentary hazard has captured it. The minority rejected the report and said that, led by the minority chief whip, Alhaji Muntaka, rejected it and said on the floor of Parliament that the two of them, the spouses of the president and the vice president, were not Article 71 office holders. And as such, the committee could not make any recommendations to that effect. We had 106 members in Parliament then. It was the old Parliament. The Speaker was Professor Michael Quay. It was under his watch that a voice vote was put to the floor and the majority won. So the minority had their say in rejecting it, but the majority had their way. So the minority was not part of this decision, and that the records attest to.
Thank you for that clarity. Have you filed a suit yet?
We are yet to file our suit. Like I said, this morning our MPs have filed a similar suit. If we are not careful, our matter becomes moot. So we are yet to look at what they filed. We'll study it. Our lawyers are studying it, and once they are done, if there is an addition that we need to do, then we will go to court on a different matter. But if the same reliefs we are seeking for, then we'll rather file to join the suit and then go ahead with it.
George, I thank you for your time this afternoon. George Opariado is the National Youth Organizer for the National Democratic Congress, NDC. You're also watching NewsBeat here on Metro TV. We'll take a quick breather. We'll be back shortly.
The search for a reliable partner in dealing with your U-turn bus needs has been made easier and convenient with SA Automobile. SA Automobile, formerly U-turn Ghana Limited, has been in the business of offering quality U-turn product and services at competitive rates. At SA Automobile, our team of expert staff, management, engineers and mechanics professionally deal in the sale of U-turn buses, genuine spare parts, its repairs and maintenance at a highly effective workshop with remarkable speed. We also have available the sale of Camel car batteries, Weichai and Kia spare parts, Zonton coaches and light duty vehicles for everyday movement. Contact us on 020-000-0831 or 054-555-7500. You can also email us info@saautomobilegh.com or visit our website at www.saautomobilegh.com. SA Automobile, the pleasure of doing business with you is all ours.
Did you know that cloth handkerchief gets dirty and wet after wiping your sweat or blowing your nose with it? Keeping a dirty handkerchief in your pocket or bag is very unhygienic. Reusing it increases your chances of getting sick from germs. That is why I always use Flora disposable handkerchief. Flora disposable handkerchiefs is disposable, thus making it a more hygienic option. It's thick and very absorbent. With 10 tissues in a pack, Flora disposable handkerchief is better than a cloth handkerchief. For Flora toilet roll, Flora multi-purpose paper towels, Flora table napkins, and Flora box tissues in a shop near you. For bill purchases, call Delta Paper Mail on 0243 033 033.
Everybody, welcome back to NewsBeat here on Metro TV. Now let's do some more stories. And the Bono East Regional Minister Kwesi Edu-Jam has appealed to the Minister for Food and Agriculture, Owusu Akoto, to provide factories in the region with raw materials and farmlands to enable them thrive in agro-business. Now, according to him, although the Planting for Food and Jobs project has been beneficial, factories in the region still struggle to get raw materials. He made this appeal when the minister paid a working visit to the region.
The Minister for Food and Agriculture visited the Bono region as part of the 6-day tour targeted at improving agricultural production in the regions. The Regional Minister Kwesi Edu-Jam, in welcoming the minister, appealed to him to help factories and farmers in the region have easy access to raw materials and farmlands.
Honorable Minister, they import about 4 million Ghana cedis weight of onions from Burkina Faso and Niger a week. And Honorable Minister, as you are aware, our west soil here is the best soil in Niger and Burkina Faso. Yet they are able to produce these items. Grow these items and bring them over here. We think, Honorable Minister, we need to do something about it. If you look at the other plant, which is Ghana North, It has been closed down now as I'm speaking to you, Honorable Minister, because of lack of raw materials.
The Minister for Food and Agriculture on his part assured the regional minister of his support, calling on the agricultural coordinators in the region to organize the farmers and factories in the group so the ministry can better support them.
It is not a very difficult task that you are proposing. We need you to organize the farmers. You know, it's very welcoming for me when I come out of Accra to come and visit the regions, and every time I go out I discover more things. The fact that so many women in Bono region, for instance, have put themselves together to grow rice in the valleys, and these valleys, from what they are telling us, can supply all Ghana's needs of rice.
The Director for Agriculture in the Bono East region, Cecilia Kija, and some of the farmers in the region also shared their plight with the minister.
Poor road network in the region hindering agricultural development. Kwame Dansu Road. So when you even go out on your monitoring the same, you apply Kwame Dansu Road once, and when you are coming back, you are scared. William Shesho said you're going back on that route. So that is also one of the challenges.
The Bono East region, since the implementation of the Planting for Food and Job program, have received over 1 million seedlings and livestock, over 26,000 subsidized fertilizers, 53 rice harvesters, warehouses, among others.
Now, motorists plying the Manfe-Adorso stretch of the Accra-Koforidua Road have expressed their fears over what they call a death trap. They say major roads in the region have been bedeviled by potholes. The residents are appealing to authorities to come to their aid before the unfortunate happens.
The Manfe-Adorso Road is naturally one of the roads that demand extra caution from drivers due to its mountainous nature coupled with a lot of dangerous curves. Many accidents have been recorded on the stretch over the years, affecting mainly drivers who are not familiar with the nature of the road. To make matters worse, potholes that have developed in recent times have not received much attention, thereby deteriorating into dangerous proportions. The most serious situation is that most of the deadly holes are found in the curves, making it difficult for the unsuspecting driver to notice in good time to avoid them. A motorist, Dr. Kofi Boyson, described the situation as dangerous.
It's very bad. It's very bad. Potholes, the curves. If one is not very careful, there are no road signs to show you whether there's a curve.
A resident of Kwamaso, Gabriel Mensah, also expressed his dissatisfaction with the recently tarred road at Kwamaso, which he said was a shoddy work and a waste of money. Speaking to Metro News off camera, the Regional Director of Ghana Highways Authority, Charles Edubofo, intimated that there would be some works on that stretch in 3 weeks' time. He also hinted that plans were underway for the dualization of the road. Metro News will be monitoring the event and keep viewers posted.
Now, on details about reports by the International Maritime Authority, we have more of that with Ken, who's joined me with the details of business. Ken, thank you for joining us. Good afternoon.
That's right, Annie. Thank you very much. Up next is business. Stay with us. Now, the Gulf of Guinea, as at June 2021, had recorded 33 confirmed piracy and maritime-related insecurities since the beginning of this year. During the second International Maritime Exhibition, Chief of Naval Staff Rear Admiral Isa Adam Yakubu also revealed that between 7 to 12 billion US dollars is lost globally due to such activities. There's more in the following report. The most concern of piracy in the Gulf of Guinea is change of modus operandi from stealing cargo to kidnapping for ransom. The high-risk areas are designation results in high insurance premiums, which translate into high cost of shipping. Chief of Naval Staff Rear Admiral Isa Adam Yakubu at the second International Maritime Exhibition revealed that Over 7 to 12 billion US dollars is lost to piracy every year globally.
Figures from 1F Future Foundation in their Ocean Beyond Piracy report of 2010 estimated the cost of piracy and armed robbery against ships to the global economy between 7 and 12 billion US dollars per year. Looking at the figures, the interesting thing I want you to look at is the insurance premiums alone, which goes up to $3 billion. And this is transferred to you and I who buy things off the shelves, because shipping lines will pass the cost on to the shippers, and the shippers will definitely pass it on to consumers.
Chief of Naval Staff Rear Admiral Isa Adam Yakubu had some proposals to deal with insecurities.
To be able to deal holistically with piracy, a better understanding of the networks and their interests is required. How do they land their booty on land? Who negotiates the ransoms? Where do they land? And then all these questions need to be answered. That is why we're also looking at the nexus between land and then the sea. I think this can be tackled right from the land, and better than to go out pursuing them at sea.
Vice President Mahmoud Bawumia says such piracy activities is a threat to the successful attainment of African Continental Free Trade Agreement.
This is required because securing the maritime domain for a developed blue economy entails coordinated actions among all stakeholders in the country. It is also important to remind ourselves that the threats to maritime security and safety transcend borders. They affect international trade. A threat to one coastal nation is a threat to others. The sea is the superhighway for global trade, and Africa's quest for a continental free trade area cannot be successful without a secured maritime domain.
A total of 54 seafarers have been kidnapped so far this year, of which 44 have been released. Minister Ken Ofori-Atta has said Ghana is targeting to double its tax revenue to about 28% of gross domestic product. He made this known in an interview with Bloomberg, monitored by Metro News. According to the finance minister, the feat would be actualized using digitization to create a more vibrant economy.
We really want to be able to double our tax revenue to about 28% of GDP using digitalization so we can create a much more vibrant economy in the next 3 years, Ofori-Atta said. Ghana is expected to rope in as many as 15.5 million taxpayers after it implements the national ID number to serve as tax ID numbers. Already, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo had earlier indicated that the country's tax base is set to grow to by more than fivefold to 15.5 million after government completes the implementation of the National Identification Number merger, which will in turn serve as tax identification numbers. Meanwhile, Ghana for the 2021 fiscal year is targeting a budget gap of 9.5% of GDP from an 11.7% shortfall recorded back in 2020, with an expectation for output to expand 5% from 0.4% in 2020.
According to the director of the Pan-African SMEs Network, Solomon Ajay, Ghanaian businesses need to be sensitized on the opportunities available for them to fully explore in the African Continental Free Trade Area. He spoke at the African SMEs Dialogue on the theme After Opportunities or Threats to African SMEs, organized by the youth, women, small and medium-scale businesses on the continent.
The African SMEs Dialogue on After seeks to explore the opportunities and challenges that come with the After for the youth, women and small and medium-scale businesses. Executive Director of the Pan-African SMEs Network, Solomon Ajay, said SMEs need strong capacities to meet global standards.
The issues of business or product standardization. What we produce in Ghana, will it meet the standard of a European market or the standard of a South African market or other countries' market? How are we able to ensure that what we produce in-house, locally as a country, will meet global standards.
National President of the Borderless Alliance, Zayed Homoni, called for paradigm shift in African businesses.
From the limited, traditional, some even call colonial, model of national economic development on the back of the export of raw commodities. We need to add value to our products and services to make sure that we are better prepared to face the next external shocks, but also to become more competitive players on the international global scene, not just within our countries.
The dialogue was organized by the Pan-African SMEs Network in partnership with GI's office in charge of AFTA in Accra.
So the price of crude oil went up on the commodities market today at a unit price of plus 0.34. Cotton dropped on the market today to sell at a unit price of 0.0. Coffee also stood at a unit price of minus 3.0. Let's now take a look at how the cedi is performing against other major trading currencies and also the prices of some commodities on the world market. Well, that'll be it for the business segment of the news. I'm Kenneth. Jesse Annie is standing by for the rest of the news.
Thank you, Ken. Now, Sergio Ramos has signed up for PSG. We'll give you some more in entertainment, but in the world of sports. We'll be back after this break.
In Ghana and in Africa, there is only one place to look to get that luxurious design and decor for your offices and homes. Visit Jamila Home. We give you the climax of luxury wherever you find yourself. Presidential and executive office furniture, living room sets, dining set, stunning mirrors, adorable wallpapers, lovely king and queen size beds, valuable antiques and antique goods, beautiful chandeliers and more. Into the bargain, we provide caring customer service, prompt delivery service, skilled and artistic full house design and decor services, and free decor ideas for your space. Our products and service is unparalleled, boasting of top-tier clients all over the globe. Jamila Home, home of first-class quality furniture, beautiful chandeliers, and antiques.
Watching NewsBeat live here on Metro TV. My name is Nana Yaupoku. Time now for sports, and I'm here to bring you up to speed on what's trending in the world of sports right after this. Welcome back. Let's begin from the French capital, where Paris Saint-Germain have signed La Liga champions Real Madrid after a one-year contract with them. But of course, Sergio Ramos is saying that he is here to win laurels for Paris Saint-Germain.
Ramos left Real last month after failing to reach an agreement to extend his 16-year stay in the Spanish capital. He helped Real win 4 Champions League titles and 5 La Liga trophies. The 35-year-old who they finished second last season behind champions Lille in Ligue 1 and were knocked out in the Champions League semi-finals by Manchester City. Ramos missed a large chunk of last season with injuries and was left out of Spain's Euro 2020 squad, but said when leaving Real that he was determined to keep proving himself at the top. He becomes PSG's latest signing following the arrival of Morocco defender Achraf Hakimi from Serie A side Inter Milan on a 5-year deal. Media reports say PSG are also close to signing Italy goalkeeper Gianluigi Donnarumma on a free transfer after his contract with AC Milan expired at the end of last season.
Sergio Ramos there on a free transfer to Paris Saint-Germain after leaving Real Madrid some few weeks ago. Now, in the ongoing Euro 2020, England won their first semi-final since 1966 World Cup when Harry Kane's extra time goal following up his penalty being saved, and a 2-1 victory over Denmark yesterday.
England soccer fans climbed onto buses and telephone boxes in London's Piccadilly Circle on Wednesday, July 7th, celebrating their historic victory over Denmark that sends them to the Euro 2020 final. Riot police were on guard as over-the-moon fans danced, cheered and chanted, celebrating the country making their first final of an international tournament since 1966. Harry Kane's goal, following up after his penalty had been saved, finally saw off battling Denmark to set up a Sunday, July 11th showdown again.
They've been a top team for the last couple of years. We've followed their progress closely. We know the way they play. They play with great energy, beaten 2 top teams to get there in Belgium and Spain. So it's the biggest possible test we could have with a day less to...
Exciting moment for England over there. Let's see whether football is indeed coming home or it will go to the Azuris. On Sunday, that is the final against Italy. Let's see how it happens. But on to other news, House of Folk have qualified to the last 8 of this year's MTN FA Cup after recording a 1-0 victory over Accra Young Boys in a match played at Dewu. Let's get some reactions from the 2 coaches.
It's very tough because as you play with the lower club, Division 1 club, they wanted to show up, they wanted to exhibit the talent that they have, and they know that they are playing with the House of Folk. House of Folk is a big team and they will frustrate the House of Folk players, but I think it's a very nice game and we managed to get 1 goal, which is very good.
It's disappointing, but it happens in football, so we are okay with that. A Division 1 playing against Accra House of Folk, that alone was a motivation for the boys. So I'm sure that's the results of their performance. Yeah, just playing House of Folk was one thing that motivated them to play at their best.
Oh, it was a tough one because looking at the team we played with, they came prepared, and we also came prepared because we've already put in it at the back of our mind that every match that we go in, we have to take the 3 maximum points.
Away from football, let's do tennis news right about now. Roger Federer faced serious questions over his future on Wednesday after crashing out of the Wimbledon in the quarterfinals, just 5 weeks shy of his 40th birthday.
Before this fortnight, 14th seeded Hakash had only won 4 matches on turf, but no one would have guessed his lack of grass court pedigree after witnessing the stupendous display he put in against his own childhood idol. All the cheers and standing ovations in the world could not have saved Federer from the center court, mauling as it seemed his 39-year-old body finally said enough is enough. A Federer forehand into the Tremi lines handed Hakash the biggest win of his career, while fans were left wondering that should this turn out to be the Swiss final Wimbledon appearance, there could not have been a more cruel way to bow out than losing 6-0 in the final set of his 22nd appearance. Never before had Federer been wiped out in a set at Wimbledon, as Federer himself admitted he was unsure of a Wimbledon return in 2022.
No, like I explained before, I'm going to take, a couple of days and sit down. I'm sorry if I'm repetitive, but I said everything waits till Wimbledon is done. So Wimbledon is done now. haven't taken the decision yet, you know, where we go from here. But I can't tell you anything more than that. That I will sit down and hopefully make an announcement rather sooner than later. Of course, also for me, my family, and everybody, my team, and so forth.
Playing in his 50th Grand Slam quarterfinal, Novak Djokovic recorded a century of tour-level wins on grass as he suffocated the challenge of Martin.
So better luck next time to Roger Federer. That's it for sports. My name is Nana Opoku-Harriet, standing by with entertainment news.
Well, it's time to bring you the latest update in the world of entertainment. There's more after this. The royalty system in Ghana is not working as it should, says Ghanaian music producer Apia Danko, popularly known as Apietus. He disclosed that the monies are received by organizations, but the problem is with how the monies are disbursed. He spoke with me on Playlist.
This is what is happening. We have a body that controls the collection, takes monies from all media houses like Metro TV, other television stations, radio stations, people who are using music, basically, you know, in all spheres. And what they do is they go and collect the money, all right. They have some fixed fee. Oh, you pay this, you two pay that, that. When they take the money, and then they go and say somewhere and say, oh, we think that this guy there, he has been doing this thing for years, even though the money they collected, you know, Shatta Wale had a lot of his songs played. But they say, oh no, Shatta, you're young, so give this guy 2 series and give this guy 3 series.
Oh Lord.
The reason why the thing is not working is there are old people whose music are not vibrant anymore. And they don't want a situation where they will say they will share it according to, not according from. When it's according to, it means, oh, they're going to pay Mr. Drew more. They're going to pay Kwame Yuji more. They're going to pay this. Okay, if that's the case, they are. No, we can't allow the real system to work and say Kwame Yuji's song was played, let's say, 10 times on Metro TV, and so he has 10 CDs. You know what I'm saying? But rather, we'll take that 10 CDs and we'll share it amongst everybody.
Has a face online showing rappers Meek Mill and Travis Scott get involved in a heated altercation, nearly leading to a fight. The incident happened over the weekend at a party organized by 96's co-owner Michael Rubin in Hampton, New York.
Say the two rappers got into a loud verbal argument at the over-the-top soiree, which was organized by 76's co-owner Michael Rubin and attended by a host of stars including Jay-Z, Robert Kraft, Alex Rodriguez and John Bon Jovi. But the rappers were pulled apart and led away from each other before it escalated. The incident, which allegedly happened around 1:30 a.m., effectively brought the white party to a close. According to sources, it is unclear what exactly led to the altercation between the two rappers. Meek Mill and Travis Scott do not seem to have any past beef, though Meek Mill has had heated rivalries with other rappers.
Well, that's it for the latest update in the world of entertainment. My name is Harriet Adi. Up next is international news with Annie Ampufo.
And now to the international front. South Africa's ex-president Jacob Zuma turned himself into the police on Wednesday to begin 15 months in jail for contempt of court, the culmination of the year-long legal drama seen as test of the post-apartheid state's ability to enforce the rule of law.
They all decided to go quietly.
Jacob Zuma has been admitted to start serving the 50-month sentence in a correctional service system. He was admitted just after 1 a.m. today on the 8th of July.
Okay.
It was a remarkable fall for a reverend veteran of the African National Congress Liberation Movement who was jailed by South Africa's white minority rulers for his part in its struggle to make everyone equal before the law. Zuma denies there was widespread corruption under his leadership, and on Sunday he has struck a different note.
Now, still in South Africa, acting chief reporter for Daily News and Insight News in South Africa, Thabo Makwakwa, tells Metro News that the president, Cyril Ramaphosa, is yet to comment.
General mood in South Africa now.
Right. It's a lot of confusion. I mean, some people are obviously celebrating his arrest, and then we've got a whole lot of his supporters saying that what has been done to him is actually a travesty of justice. So the mood is quite confusing. People are unhappy, and it is, you know, at a time when we don't know what the next move will be. Remember that he launched a court application this week, early in the week, asking the High Court to actually reconsider, to review his a Concord judgment in which he was sentenced to 15 months. So he was basically asking the court to at least review that Concord judgment so that he will be given time to go for trial. He will be given at least some time to go and present his case, and also, you know, give reasons as to why this sentence was far-fetched.
And that's all we have for you for NewsBeat here on Metro TV. Came to you live from the Ekuya studio. We're back at 4 p.m. with News Flash. My name is Annie for Ampovo. Thanks for watching.